remember back in 2010 when at the San Diego Comic-Con this happened.
Consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors, which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Of course, there's always my way.
Yes, Guillermo Del Toro said a Haunted Mansion movie, a new one, was in the making.
I'm a freak of Haunted Mansion. I collect the stuff. I have my own Haunted Mansion room. I have my own Haunted Mansion, But it's something I've been cherishing because everybody thinks, oh, the Haunted Mansion is going to do another... what I'm going to do, what I want to do, is very unique, and it's a whole world. It's not just plopping a Haunted Mansion in the middle of a realistic film. It's truly configuring the world for the mansion to exist for real.
It's been 11 years now. Not only was that movie not remade, but Del Toro stepped out of the process and the new a la Ghostbusters Haunted Mansion is in the making. Strangely enough, for those of you who are Haunted Mansion freaks like I am, in 2015, a movie about a haunted mansion where a female owner who kills inhabitants with an axe to get their money came out. And I couldn't help but to feel, what if this was Del Toro's Haunted Mansion script, only with names and a few situations changed? Let's explore this crazy theory and see if you agree with me. For those of you who have not seen Crimson Peak, here is a simple summary. Crimson Peak is a movie about an American girl, Edith, who sees ghosts since she was a child. Her ghost mother warns her about a place called Crimson Peak, leaving no other clues. This girl grows and tries to be a ghost story writer but fails. Enter the Baronet Thomas Sharp. This aristocratic but impoverished young man from England tries to lure investors to give him money for his clay extraction machine but gets rejected by Edith's father. Edith and the Baronet feel attracted for each other, but Edith's father doesn't want that, so he hires a private investigator to see if there is something this Baronet hides. The Baronet has a sister called Lady Lucille Sharp, who plays the piano real nice at a house of a rich lady who had a daughter that was courting the Baronet. Yet, during the dinner, the Baronet chooses to dance with Edith, and not with the rich lady's daughter, clearly showing he has feelings for her. The two fool around for a while and Thomas praises Edith's ghost story, but Edith's father gets informed about some nasty facts about Lady Lucille and Thomas. He tells them at a dinner party in his house that he'll pay the Baronet to leave immediately for England and to break her daughter's heart. Thomas obeys and breaks Edith's heart.
You insist on describing the torments of love when you clearly know nothing about them. I'm not done yet!
What do you dream of? A kind man? A pure soul to be redeemed? A wounded bird you can nourish? Affection. Affection has no place in love, Edith. I advise you to return to your ghosts and fancies. The sooner the better. You know precious little of the human heart, or love, or the pain that comes with it. You're nothing but a spoiled child.
During another day, Edith's father gets killed by mysterious hands. The Baronet leaves a note for Edith, and she falls in love with the Baronet and eventually marries him. They move to England to a decrepit old mansion where Edith sees ghosts that knock on doors in a hallway, move doorknobs, and prove to have been killed by a hatchet-wielding murderer in the house. Yes, it does sound familiar, does it? A lot of emphasis is made in the attic, and Edith finds out her husband had married many times and his brides died terrible deaths until she finds the truth. which is that Lady Lucille has killed all the brides so that his brother, the baronet, inherits the money and they can finance not only his inventions but the upkeeping of the enormous estate. Lucille also is the responsible of Edith's father's death. As Edith finds the truth, she goes to the attic to find more evidence and finds a secret door where Thomas and Lucille are having incestuous relations. Lady Lucille insists that Thomas must kill Edith. Thomas refuses because he loves her. Lady Lucille kills him then, and she is killed by Edith. The ghosts of these brothers haunt this mansion. This story sounds a lot like The Mansion because it is based in Bluebeard, about a pirate who killed his brides and ends up being killed by the last one, which finds out his truth. This story sounds familiar to you too because Captain Gore's story is based in the Bluebeard story. It is also familiar because Del Toro himself says it was inspired by The Fall of Usher House, which has two brothers, male and female, as protagonists, with a suspicion of incestuous relation. Many of the fan fictions also claim there are two Gracie children, a male and a female, one Master Gracie and possibly Miss April. So, we could say Haunted Mansion and Crimson Peak are based on the same Gothic literature, and hence they feel similar. Still, the timing of Crimson Peak and the unmade Haunted Mansion remake have coincidences. The Haunted Mansion was announced in 2010. Then, there was nothing said. Around 2012, Del Toro tried to sell a new script called Crimson Peak to Universal but got rejected. Finally, in 2014, a co-production with Legendary Pictures and more changes in the script made Universal greenlight the project. In 2015, the movie premiered with striking story and visual similarities with The Mansion. The Mansion's remake news had nothing new, and in a 2019 interview, Del Toro was asked about the Mansion movie. He said, "I don't know if it'll ever happen." He stated that he had shown 2 or 3 scripts which he thought ready for shooting, but never got an answer from Disney. Now, what happened with the Disney company between 2010 and 2013? Well, for starters, their Marvel craze, the Lucasfilm purchase, the remake of animations into live actions. In a few words, Disney wanted proven successful intellectual properties, no new stories. If we add to that, Del Toro's movie tone might have been very dark for the early 2010s Disney, which softened Marvel and Star Wars. So Del Toro, either having no answer or unwilling to yield and soften the story, changed it and transformed it into a gothic romance called Crimson Peak. If you are still not convinced, let me remind you, Del Toro is a hardcore Mansion fan. He has an entire room dedicated to Mansion paraphernalia and claims he visits the mansion at least once a year. But don't let that be the proof. Let us examine what visual similarities are between Crimson Peak and the Haunted Mansion. Number 1. Tom Hiddleston is dressed and groomed very similarly to Master Gracie's portrait. His shy and concealing attitude is close to fan fictions about the character too. Number 2. Edith's Buffalo home has the same wallpaper as the Haunted Mansion foyer. Number 3. Lady Lucille kills her own mother in the same way Constance kills George Gracie, and also hatchets her way all of his brother's brides. This could very well have been Constance, and Del Toro changed her character a bit for copyright issues. Number 4. Lady Sharp, that is, Lucille and Thomas's murdered mother, has a stern-looking face, similar to that of Aunt Lucretia's bust and Sinister 11 painting. Aunt Lucretia in early stages was George's wife, possibly Master Gracie's mother. In fan fictions, that is the case too, and she rejects Constance. Number 4. Most of the clues about the murderers are found in the attic, just as Constance's crime evidence can be found there too, including pictures, letters, and even wedding paraphernalia. Number 5. There are many references to the corridor of doors scattered through the movie. Number 6. Lucille's ghost remains in the conservatory, playing the piano in a shot strikingly similar to the Haunted Mansion's conservatory scene. Number 7. Edith becomes a reference to the chandelier ghost in the endless hallway. Number 8. The original attic had references to a deceased bride's spirit that tries to tell us something but can't. This same warnings appear to Edith through the house as, according to the new Haunted Mansion game, also Constance's murdered husbands manifest their corpse-like hands in the corridor of doors, either as the guy in the coffin or as the corpse hands that come out of the door. I know it might sound a bit forced, but the timing, the references, the director who is a fan, all of these things scream the Haunted Mansion, but with the creative liberty and forced character changes due to copyright. So, that's why I think this movie was transformed into Crimson Peak, and this is a movie we can use to imagine a serious, gothic, haunted mansion true to its core Victorian references, with a touch of Del Toro. Sure, we don't have a Hatbox Ghost or a Leota, but we do have a Master Gracie, a Constance, and even a beating heart bride. My hopes of the new Haunted Mansion being a gothic romance or horror, or being as dark as the first portion of the ride and as all the fan fictions I have read, or even as haunting as the 2003 video game, have all disappeared when I saw the script was made by former Ghostbuster writer, which makes me think they'll go for the funny version again. I sincerely hope the Haunted Mansion gets the dark version it truly deserves. I'd really like to hear your opinion on the matter, since you are all Haunted Mansion true core fans as I am, so do write it down. This has been all for now. Rest in peace.